see a lot of content floating around telling artists what they should be drawing to get the most likes, attention, or make the most money. And these things can be motivating in the short term, but what happens if we only chase these things in the long term? It's important to build a healthy relationship with your art by focusing first on drawing what you love. By the end of this video, I'm certain I will have convinced you of that. When I first started drawing, everyone's advice was the same. If you want to grow on social media, you have to make fan art. Fan art's how you introduce people to your work, and then it will introduce them to your personal work. This seemed like good advice, so I tried it. I'll be honest, while fan art did get some eyes on my work, I quickly discovered 3 things. I didn't like drawing fan art. I couldn't get invested. I had all these other ideas, random ideas, my own characters, whatever it was. I just wanted to get those out. And drawing fan art took significant time away from drawing the things I wanted to be drawing. A lot of the characters that I was drawing, I also had no idea who they were. I mean, they were cool designs. I really thought they were awesome designs, and usually I wouldn't draw them if I didn't at least think that. But if someone tried to strike up a conversation with me, I realized I have no idea what to say. I felt a little out of place because of this, and it made me really shy to connect with my audience. Worst of all, when I did end up posting this work, my newfound audience rarely engaged because it wasn't what they followed for. So in my need to get permission to draw my own characters, I did what any normal, sane person would do. I made a poll on Twitter. I asked people, would you rather see me draw personal work or fan art? And the answer really surprised me. It was what I secretly wanted, but my community revealed that they'd rather see an artist draw their personal work than fan art. It seems like when our communities get really invested in our art, they also get invested in us. And to be honest, I think they just want to see us happy. This is probably a big reason why the poll turned out this way. I don't know if everyone's audience is the same, but this poll really unlocked something for me. It gave me permission to draw what I wanted to draw, instead of developing an audience around what was popular. And I've been an artist who's grown purely on my personal work, and I think that that's a topic for another video, but if you'd like to see it, let me know down in the comments. All that being said, I want to share with you 5 things that change when you start drawing what you love. Number 1, you start getting more consistent. You do. How many times a week do you think about drawing, but you can't quite seem to get your butt over to the canvas or over to the tablet? If you start drawing what you love, you no longer need to convince yourself to start the day or to get to work. You don't need a pep talk. You don't need the negative reinforcement. Showing up is easier when the work fills you with joy. There might still be days where, you feel some resistance, but when you're excited about what you're about to jump into, it's so much easier to dedicate that time to it. And we artists have to dedicate a lot of time to our craft. Number 2, you start getting more curious about learning. Raise your hand if you find studying incredibly boring. I know, I get it. But you're much more likely to study a subject if it means improving your personal projects. And some people are naturally curious. They like to learn things. But for those who struggle to dedicate that time to learning, maybe it feels repetitive, maybe it feels pointless, I don't know. But this is a great way to give your learning purpose. Learning that directly impacts the big projects you're excited to release is way more motivating, and, fun fact, you're much more likely to remember the stuff you learn when it's applied to something that you find fun to draw. So, food for thought. Number 3, art block is going to stop getting in your way. There are few things more dreadful than sitting down to the canvas and realizing you don't know what to draw. Ideas flow a lot easier when you're not trying to force them. And for our favorite subjects, there's likely something we could talk about all day. So if you can talk about these things all day, chances are you can probably draw them just as long. Here's my reminder to also take breaks, drink water, and eat properly. But yeah, Get ready to get consumed in the art that you're making, when it's what you want to be drawing, when you're drawing what you love. Number 4, you start finding the right people. I think a lot of us artists join these creative communities because we are looking for our place in the creative world. And sometimes we try to fit a square block in a triangular hole. Here's the thing. When you start drawing what you love, the people who resonate not only with your art show up, but also the people who resonate with you. Your audience is going to begin to feel like looking in a mirror. Engaging with them feels natural because they like what you like. Most of the comments start to feel like inside jokes from old friends who get you and your work. And on a professional level, you'll begin to attract clients who hire you to make the type of work you're already making. You still may get the occasional, hey, I need a graphic designer. You know those requests. But it's unlikely that someone's going to ask for work outside of what you demonstrate in your portfolio. So fill it up with more of what you want to make. I'm an artist who draws a lot of portraits, usually with unique features, things like horns and pointy ears. I swear, anytime I release a drawing with a character that has one of these features, there's always 3 more clients who end up asking for the same thing afterwards. Draw more of those things, and people are going to come find you for them. All right, and point number 5, this is my favorite and probably the most meaningful change. You stop doubting yourself. I think this is a conversation we all have with ourselves at some point. Do I actually like drawing? Am I meant to do this? And I think initially these questions kind of sting. You know, we're like doubting who we're meant to be. We're doubting our creativity. Every time the going gets tough, you're wondering if you're actually a capable artist. What if it's not a lack of skill, but a lack of motivation because you're working on projects that don't matter to you? Think about that. I really hope this conversation makes you consider drawing what you love. Thanks for watching.